Now we start immediately with panel 1, and I introduce you Mr. Daniele Bozzolo, who is moderating this panel. And I also ask the panel 1 speakers to go to the front desk. Of course, some of them are online, so they will speak from remote. And some of them are luckily present here in person. Please, Daniele, go on.
Please help yourself. Sit where you prefer. Thanks. Good morning. I've been tasked to make the opening as a first panel, so it's a big challenge for me. Actually, I was wondering in the past days how we could get this thing started. And the inspiration came from, if you can, next page, please, Paolo. Oh, first of all, I need to present myself. The first thing first. Okay, my name is Daniele Bozzolo. I've been working in the railway environment for more than 35 years. I am currently the president, chairman of the ICTC9, which is the technical committee in charge of preparing standards at worldwide level for the electrical standards at worldwide level. And I will be also describing you the next one, which is the IEC System Committee, which is in charge of standardizing at system level for sustainable electrified transportation systems. That's what you find there, SICK set. It's not sick, okay? And I'm currently working as a consultant for the ANI-ASIFER, Italian Association of Industries in charge in the business of railways. I guess we can move on, and now I can restart. Sorry. When I said, where do we start from for this panel number 1? And again, the inspiration came from the very first page of the brochure that says that railways serve as an environmentally friendly and sustainable means of transportation. But of course, more needs to be done to keep and improve their performance as the backbone of the mobility system. But the important thing is that it says that regulators, standardization, and research will have a big responsibility in driving the evolution of railway towards such ambitious objectives. And in reading this, if you can move it next, please, I was considering that the sentence should be continued saying that it's not only the standardization and research and regulators in charge of this, but there are also the operators. Oh, thank you. This one. Okay. The operators, the infrastructure managers, as well as the industry that will have to support it. So it's going to be a 360-degree cooperation in order to achieve this target. Now, if we look at the two topics of this ICT, one is digitalization and the other is sustainability for railways, I think that we can put together a sort of formula going back to the past life when we were students, a formula where we say that these sustainable systems in railways are a function of different variables. And the first one is that the system to be sustainable means that it's using sustainable or renewable energy sources. In one of the committees that I'm part of, we're trying to identify how we can prove that the energy that the railways use or the energy that is used to recharge a battery for an electric car, this energy comes from renewable sources. And because otherwise, if you recharge a car with not renewable sources, then probably we are not achieving our final target. The second one is we might have trains that are using electricity, so they are sustainable, but how do we build a train? Are we building it in a conscious and green way? And so this is when we start talking about the manufacturing process. The other thing is the supply chain. Are we using components in the train that are sustainable, or to build parts of this train we really still need oil or other parts that are not considered green? And sustainable. So the list could be certainly longer than what I just started here. So what I'm saying is that at the end of the day, saying that the railways is a green transportation means it's not only because we use electricity, but there are a lot of other factors that need to be considered. So what more can the railway stakeholders do to maximize the result of this formula? And this is one of the topics that it would be nice that we will discuss at the end of this panel or throughout all these sections of this IACT conference. The second one was, we've been talking about digitalization a lot. We've been talking about autonomous train, artificial intelligence, rail connectivity, digital twins, train-to-train communication, energy measurement, and so on. What is going to be next? I think it would be nice. The gentleman before was saying that this Q day will come soon, and well, there will be no reason for having a passport at this point in time. But what is next here in terms of digitalization of the railways? So I was wondering, solid-state batteries, for instance, could be something like that, the superconductors, reversible substations, Hyperloop. Sorry, I need to go back. So the digitalization and sustainability are two topics that today we are tackling them in a certain way, but what is going to be the next step? What are going to be the topics of the next or the future? This certainly is something that some of those we are already working on. Some of those are completely new due to the technology that is not ready today. So some relevant question for us is, with all this digitalization, how will we be able to cope with cybersecurity? And this is really in line with what was said before. Are regulators and operators sensitive enough and prepared to deal with it? What are the next actions and plan? And last but not least, what standard development organizations can do to support better and more efficiently this process? So at the end, really, this is another question that is quite important, particularly it's particularly important for TC9, but it's also particularly important for the system committee, the IEC system committee, Sustainable Electrified Transportation System, that is moving its first steps. Okay, I think I'm done.